Now we will discuss about the reputational risk. Reputational risk. So from the word reputation, you can understand that this is something about the reputation of the Islamic Bank or the trust of the Islamic Bank, the perception of the stakeholders about the Islamic Bank. So what is reputational risk? Reputational risk is the possibility of reducing the trust of the stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders of an Islamic bank? Definitely its customers. You know that there are customers in both sides. And in one side, the customers is generating fund, and on the other side, the customers are taking the fund. So whatever is the case, both of them are the stakeholders. Not only the customer, the government is also the stakeholder. The society is also the stakeholder. So as a whole, if the reputation of the Islamic bank or the trust imposed on the Islamic bank are negatively affected because of different things, then it is called reputational risk. Now let us see what are the possible, the examples of issues that may create negative perception toward the Islamic bank, or that may jeopardize the trust on the Islamic bank. So what are the different issues, or what are the different events that can create this kind of unwanted situation? One issue can be negative media coverage. Sometimes the media may provide negative coverage about the Islamic bank, about a particular Islamic bank or the Islamic banking sector as a whole. So definitely that will result the people, the stakeholder, to have some kind of negative perception about the Islamic bank. Okay. The second one is negative rumor. Sometimes even if the media coverage, you understand nowadays we have social media and so many other things. So some kind of negative rumor can also create lack of trust on the Islamic bank. Then the lack of trust or negative perception does not always come from the external parties. It can also come from the Islamic bank's inability. For example, Islamic bank may be ineffective in its communication strategy. If the Islamic bank cannot communicate its good sides, what are the good things that it is doing to the society, to the economy, if they do not communicate that, if they do not let people know about that, what is good in Islamic bank, what is good in their operation, what good things they are doing to the society, to the economy, if they do not communicate that properly, or if they do not if they are unable to face the negative rumors or negative media coverage in a strategic manner, that can also be the reason behind the Islamic banks to face the negative perception about that. And sometimes your Islamic bank might not have this kind of issue, but some other Islamic bank has that kind of issue that can actually create a lack of trust or negative perception about all the Islamic banks as a whole. So any negative publication about other Islamic bank can also create problem for your Islamic bank, because that lack of trust or negative perception also, a part of that negative perception also is imposed to the industry as a whole, to the whole Islamic banking industry. So I hope that you have understood what is reputational risk. This is basically the possibility of loss due to lack of trust or negative perception generated within the society, probably because of negative media coverage, negative rumor, the ineffective communication strategy of the Islamic bank itself, or negative publication about other Islamic bank.